everyone. Welcome to another episode of our podcast, Get Started. I'm Manpreet, your today's host. And today we're going to talk to somebody very special, somebody who has the know-how for organization, planning, and the balance. Here we have Jenny, our MD of events at START Nürnberg. Hi, Jenny.
Hi, it's a pleasure to be here.
I'm very happy that you could make the time. So, Jenny, why wouldn't you just tell about yourself, some background information, what you're studying, your role in START, for example?
Oh, so much. Okay, right at the beginning.
Yeah, just tell us.
So, officially, I'm full-time student. I study at the FAU in Nuremberg, socioeconomics. So it's a mixture of sociology and economics, which I find super interesting. I honestly love my studies. Being a full-time student is, let's keep it in quotes because I do a lot of things on the side. For example, START, as you already said, I'm the MD of events. So I spend a lot of time organizing the events we do here. What else? It keeps on adding up, when you start and you see an opportunity.
Yeah.
And you're like, I want to take this opportunity because why not, for the experience. And then you have a list of things you're just doing. I just recently started organizing events for another initiative. It's called Health Hackers, and they focus on health tech events, with startups, bringing them together with specialists, which I find super interesting. And I'm actually doing it with someone from START, who I also met at START. And then it's the tiny things of getting money, earning money, because for this we don't get any money. I work for two chairs right now at the university, and some tiny things like teaching my neighbor. And when someone asks me, sometimes it's hard to say no. I'm trying. I'm still practicing that. And then what I think is easily forgotten when you're talking about all the professional things you're doing is like the rest of life.
Exactly. Yeah. We have a life as well.
Like how much work it takes to have an apartment, to keep it clean, to cook, to eat, but also do sports, have friends, have a relationship, like things that also take a lot of effort and time.
Yeah, that's quite a lot. I totally understand. And I think that is very important. Nobody really talks about it. Like, obviously, professional, we want to grow, but also we have like a private life,
Yeah.
So how did it all start, actually? Like, I don't think like from kindergarten you were like, oh, I'm doing this and this. Like, where did it all start? Where did you start getting, like, taking all the opportunities and like growing out of your comfort zone?
Oh, that's a good question. It's hard to say when it started exactly, because I easily did a lot. It started probably in school around 8th grade, I would say, where I started at the SMV, which is like the student
Council.
Yeah, exactly. Where I also actually was like the head of the events kind of department we had there, and we organized parties for the younger students, which I loved. And I always loved organizing events. And from then, it just didn't stop, because at the same time, I started volunteering in church, which I did for quite a few years. And in this volunteering at church, I was first just in my church, like where I did my, in German it's called Konfirmation.
I don't know the English word.
Yeah. And then I became some sort of like a youth leader, if you translate it like word by word, where we had like 20 groups where we worked together with younger people and organized things for them. And it didn't just stay in my church, but I'm originally from Munich, and they have this Evangelische Jugend München, which is like the I don't know, I always say it wrong. I feel like in English, like the evangelistic youth.
Yeah, kind of. It goes in the right direction.
Yeah.
Say it like that.
Of Home Munich, where I then participated in different like groups, and we organized a lot, which was awesome. And yeah, I don't know, it just didn't stop. And then I moved here and was like, then it suddenly stopped, and it felt super empty, because if you're used to doing so much, it gets really easy to feel like you're not doing enough when you suddenly don't do the things anymore. And also it gets boring, and I want to do voluntary work, so I started here. And at first it was only the FSI, so the Fachschaft at the university. And then it also became START, and it just kept on growing. I feel like when you start somewhere, it's so easy that it just gets more and more.
Yeah.
If you don't actively say no to something.
That's true. That's true. Like once you start, you can't stop. That's
Yeah.
basically how it is. And how was it in start? Like what drove you to start? Like, hey, I want to be a part of this. And from there on, how did you became the MD of events? Like, how was it that they said, hey, we want you as the MD?
Oh, that's a funny story, actually. So how I got to know about START was, I was part of the FSI, and they sent in the group chat a message about an event that's going to take place, the RTS. It was 2024, I think, or January 2024. So pretty much right after I started my studies. And I was like, oh my God, I have to go there, because I was always super interested in entrepreneurship. And I was really keen on founding something. That's also a whole journey about like this. Do I want to found something? What do I want to do with my life? And whatever. This is something I think about a lot. But I was super excited about this event and the idea of also learning about the startup culture and the entrepreneurship culture in Nuremberg. And I actually got Lorenzo, because I was friends with him at that time already, to come with me. And then after this, we loved the vibe so much that we said, we have to join this. And then I became member of the events of the partnerships and events department. So at that time it was one department, and it was super easy for me to decide that I wanted to be part of this, because as I actually said at the beginning, like I did events already, and it was awesome, like to organize these events and to see them come to life. And I quickly had also like the idea of, okay, what can we do even better? How can we make this better? And also, I actually wanted to stand on stage at some point. I love standing on stage and just talking, being myself up there. And then when the time of the elections rolled around, Felix, the former MD, he contacted me and was like, hey, do you have some time to talk? And I was like, I didn't know what to expect at all. And then he proposed this idea of me becoming MD of events. And I felt super honored, because I joined in February and this was July. So I wasn't a member or June, actually, when we talked about it.
June.
So 4 months of being a member. That was crazy.
That is.
And the funny story behind that is actually he had other people in mind and he talked to them, and they didn't think they had the time. So it was also really lucky that it ended up being me who is the MD of events now. And I think, sometimes I kind of love to think about like Schicksal.
Destiny?
A destiny,
Yeah.
exactly. Thank you. Like the things how they're supposed to be
Some things are
it will
meant to
happen
be.
exactly,
Yeah, I know
and
what you mean.
I feel like it was exactly like this. And now we're here.
That's amazing.
After
Yeah.
pretty much 1 year of being MD now.
And what you have achieved is crazy. Maybe I don't want to brag too much, but maybe you want to brag about what you recently achieved.
Oh no,
about
please, you be the one who brags about that.
No, but like you had such an amazing event. Like it was a full week event, girl, a full week event, and over 150 people should be there, were there. And how was it to plan it? Like the background work, like everything that was amazing. Like normally we just have like one by one events, and you planned a whole festival, the innovation festival we had. Tell us more about that.
Oh wow, yeah, how was that to plan? Actually, I have to say it was stressful.
Yeah,
It
I
was a
believe
lot
that.
of work, but it was surprisingly manageable. The thing is, I have a huge team.
Mhm.
We're 10 people. Now after the new onboarding, we're even more. But we worked with like 10 people on this event week, and my mm, I have this huge like it's super important to me that I trust my team, and
Mhm.
I honestly, from the bottom of my heart, I trust the people in my team that they're able to do so much, and without them I couldn't have done it, because we had pretty much 2 events per day.
Mhm.
On the last day it was just a breakfast, but for 4 days we pretty much had 2 events per day, and every one of my members got one of these events. Some of them they planned one event, like the two of them,
Mhm.
but they did this by themselves. Like I didn't really have to manage that at all. I had one of my team members, like we if I explain like the hierarchy, we had like the lead team,
Mhm.
where there were 2 people from also my events department who I trust the most.
Mhm.
Without them, I couldn't have done anything. And Elias, he managed all the side events, like pretty much all the people who did the tiny side events,
Mhm.
but the people who planned the side events, they did this themselves. And Toby was the main responsible person for the Innovation Festival evening.
Mhm.
So I had people I could rely on, which is always the most important thing, and people I actually
True.
trust, where I don't feel like I have to control everything they do and have to rework it and like do it otherwise, like
Yeah.
afterwards. And I feel like that's the secret pretty much of leading a successful team and then organizing something like this. On the other side, I'm a huge organization freak. I love organizing everything. I organize everything meticulously in Notion so that everyone knows what there is to be done.
Yeah.
And that helped a lot. And also experience, the events we planned before that, knowing what there has to be done
Yeah.
early on, and trying my hardest to communicate with others. That that helped a lot, and that made it easier. But the last 2 weeks is always, I have to say, it's hell. It's
Yeah.
nice, where you're going somewhere, but I also have to say, I'm being like really honest here. I pretty much worked full time the last 2 weeks before the event, on Start without getting paid, and
That's
seeing
crazy.
all the things that still need to be done,
Mhm.
that maybe weren't getting done because of a lack of communication and whatever misunderstandings. Um, I I had evenings where I just lied on my couch and I was so close to crying. because it was so much.
Yeah, I
And
understand.
in this situation, it's so important to have a good backup system, like to
Yeah.
have people you can rely on. I feel like that's also like a huge part of being able to make things work.
True.
And yeah, and not everything went like super awesome and here and there, and we say like, oh my god, we did this event week, it was awesome, we had a huge success, and it was, and I'm super proud of everything we achieved. But at the same time, it's like super valuable, the lessons
Yeah,
we learned from things we can still do better next time.
true. And what was your favorite part about it? Like, except the experience, like maybe what event was your favorite one, or for what you were rooting the most?
Oh, I was rooting a lot for like seeing all the side events come together and seeing how the team did. That was so important for me because I feel like we have to talk about this later. What I feel like START is for, but just to um, like cut into it shortly, I feel like that's exactly what it's supposed to be, a ground for learning about yourself, for making experiences and having a space to grow.
Yeah.
And this is what I wanted to offer my team by giving them the chance of organizing an event themselves. And I feel like they did great. And that was so, so nice to see. And for me personally, I was mostly looking forward to hosting the evening event, the what we call the Start Innovation Festival. To standing on stage, welcoming the people, but especially actually, and I was a little bit nervous about it, but also really much looking forward to it, having an interview on stage with Carrie, and I loved it. It was, she's so nice. And it was just like a cute fireside chat about like, how do we get so much done? Like, because she's crazy. She's 23 and she does so much. And I had like a tiny fangirl moment. Like, girl, you're so crazy. That was probably my highlight.
That's lovely. That's actually so beautiful how you talk about your team. I think that's why Felix, for example, saw you maybe as well, like as somebody who can lead a whole team to be the MD of events, because like it's like always nice to appreciate yourself, but also appreciating your team, to saying, hey, these are the people why I'm here right now, or who made that happen. That's very nice.
Yeah.
But I'm talking about, for example, the stress management factor, because you said it's like you were on the edge, very close to like breakdowns or anything like that. How do you handle it generally? Because that was only start, and you told me before that you have other factors as well. Maybe you told me about something else you want to talk about, Instagram, like what you do there, like maybe that helps you. Like, how do you manage that?
Yeah. Oh, that's, Instagram is a good point. Also, this is something I can be really honest about. I started my Instagram channel 3 years ago, probably, because I converted a van. So I bought a van and I converted it to a camper.
That's a very random fact.
Yeah. And that was lovely. And I had the idea of making an Instagram about it and posting about my travels and whatever. And then I just never really did it, you know. And then like I started something, and then like not like, blah blah blah, and now I'm starting it again now, hopefully like for real. And I'm like telling people about this, and now that I'm telling about this in this podcast, you know, I really have to start.
Yeah.
The weirdest thing about it is always like I have to get the feeling of like that the things I say actually interest people, you know, that it has a relevance for people. But I talk about some like self leadership, some sort of stress management, motivation, finding a purpose in the things you do, which I feel like is the groundwork for motivation in your life. And what a huge topic for me is burnout.
Yeah.
Because I did so much, I actually last September, I I don't know if it was a burnout. It's weird to say that at that time, 20 years old, I had a burnout, but it was so close. Because when you do a lot of things you don't really want to do, it's super easy to feel completely overwhelmed.
Yeah, that's
and
true.
This feeling of like I don't have the energy of to do anything anymore. I just want to lie there and do nothing. It's like not even like I'm not even able to cry about it. It's like just like this, please, the whole world, just make it stop. This is one of the worst feelings.
It is. It's terrible.
Yeah.
It is.
And it's really hard to manage this. I'm in therapy, which helps, you know, I can recommend it to everyone.
It's important to mention that is
Yeah.
completely normal, and
Yeah,
everybody
it
should
is.
be open about it, you
Yeah.
know. I went to that too, but I completed it. I'm fine.
Nice. That's really nice. Yeah, I'm not at a like Heilpraktik for Psychotherapie, which is like not regular therapy, and
Yeah.
I also only go once a month, but already for 3 years, so that helps a lot. And then it's also for me all these tiny things. I already mentioned having a support system, which I feel like is the most important thing. Having someone where you can really let yourself just fall freely, and like you know you can rely on them, you know they will always be there for you. I have a huge problem with seeming weak. And for example, crying isn't weak at all.
It isn't.
But it's hard to know that, like it's hard to feel that deeply inside you and then just like let your feelings out. But having someone who's able to support that and be there for you, that's so important. And then it's like the really small things of not being available, which is actually a huge thing in today's society. I feel like we're always available.
We are. True.
Like take 30 minutes a day, 1 hour a day, to go on a walk without your phone. Or like what I actually did right now, I don't really have the time, but I did it for some time. I took 1 hour a day and I just did nothing. Like my mission was to not consume anything. I was able to produce. Like I could take a pen and paper and write something down, like my thoughts, but I didn't consume anything. Like no videos, no music, no books, no food, just water, no sweet drinks and whatever, like just to give my brain and my body this space of just existing, which was so relaxing to me. And that actually, in that situations, it helped me a lot. You always have to see like in what situation you are right now. Write down thoughts, always.
It is always important, because the thing is, especially in our generation right now, we just like scroll. Like I'm right now in a cycle of doom scrolling, and this is so bad. And I'm just like, I need to be bored, you know. I can't be bored. I need to put my phone on. I can't be bored anymore, you know. That's the problem. And this is like what helps. Like if you are like trying to grow out of yourself, if you find your creativity back. I was such a creative person. I could focus for so much longer than I'm right now, you know. And I'm just like, oh yeah, I just need my phone, you know. This is very bad. And I think this is a very good technique to get back on track where we are supposed to be, where we were, you know. Yeah, exactly.
I love that you're a creative person. I hope actually you find a space to get that back, you know. Because one of the most important things for me is it's totally okay to consume. And sometimes, you know, I just want to consume, you know, and sometimes it's totally okay to just lie there and scroll on your phone. But for the most part, I want to be a person who produces, who shares their thoughts, who writes. I love writing. And who gives herself space to just exist and do things. Yeah, these are, I feel like, the most important things. Actually, when you touched on doom scrolling, um, one thing that always stresses me out so much is actually spending too much time on social media.
Yeah.
I physically feel how bad it is for me. Not because I feel bad about consuming, but the things I consume are mostly, I consume a lot of fitness content and a lot of productivity. It easily is on my page. Then also, um, what's supposed to be positive content about, for example, relationships. Um, I'm easily overthinking everything. And the more I consume these things, the more I'm like, is it okay what I'm doing right now? Should it be different here and there? Oh, should I do this? Should I do that? And this is so stressful, like such a stressful state to
Yeah.
be in the whole time. And I feel like it's super relevant to have space to find ourselves. Like,
Yeah. I totally get that. Like, it's so, so important because, I mean, as I said, like, we are in this bubble. We all have the same life at a point. I think we were at a point we were so individual, and right now we all are same. And like, even this influence, we have the input. We have more input than output. We have that is like the problem, you know. And how was it actually after the Innovation Festival? Like, what did you do then? Like, how did you completely come back so you have the new energy for new projects we have right now?
yeah, oh, that's, yeah. After the Innovation Festival for 1 week,
Yeah.
I was not existing. I was just really like, I was so tired. It
I
was
get it.
crazy. Like all the stress, you have this adrenaline from the stress, and like this also, like, oh my God, everything's so great because it's working out.
Yeah.
And then it just stops, you know? And it's like from falling down from a high, and then also suddenly you have the time. And it's like also like a really physical state to be in, where um all of a sudden your body knows it has the space to, for example, be sick. Actually, I'm really lucky that I didn't get sick after it. Only like a little cold, but usually I get like super sick after such a
Oh
stressful
God.
time. Um, so for 1 week, I was pretty much not doing anything. I mean, not doing anything is like, of course, I did things,
Yeah, I get
but
it. But
then,
slower, like
yeah, exactly. Um, and then there was Rock and Park, so the festival,
oh yeah.
the rock festival
But
for
that
the
was a
weekend.
treat. That
Yeah.
was
That was a
a
huge treat. So that was like a real vacation. I didn't really look at my phone. I wasn't available for anyone. That was lovely. And it was raining the whole time. That was not so lovely. And after that, we went to Paris for Vivatech.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
But pretty much, we went from the 11th to the 16th, and Vivatech was from the 11th to the 14th. We did 2 days at Vivatech, and the rest was just exploring Paris and having a good time. Also, sort of vacation, going to museums, having picnics, and all these things. It was really vacation. And now, for like this last week now, it was getting back into um, life.
Yeah.
Like all the university I have to catch
Yeah.
up on
Work,
now.
for example, how do you
Yeah.
manage that? Like, how do you get back? Like, I think the week you took for yourself, but I think you worked as well at that point, even after
Yeah.
Innovation Festival. Like, how do you do that? Like, how do you balance it out? Like, hey, I'm working and I'm being a student, and then after this innovation, I think it's like completely hard to shut everything off, right? So you
Yeah.
take like few days off, or like how you said Rock and Park were
Yeah.
like a whole week festival? I don't know.
Oh, it's just a weekend.
Ah,
It's
just a
from,
weekend.
yeah, I mean, it was from Thursday to, yeah, okay, it's practically a week. It was from Thursday to Monday.
Okay, yeah, it's somewhat.
But the festival was from Friday to Sunday. Um, yeah, no, that's a good question. I feel like for me, work is a tiny thing in my week. It's like I don't work that much. It's just a lot when it's combined with everything else I'm doing. But that's super fine. And also, I feel like it gives me some sort of structure, which helps.
Yeah. True.
So yeah, with work, I feel like it's completely fine. And in Paris, I have to say, I didn't work at all because also it was like Bergwoche
Yeah.
at the university, so we didn't have lectures. The professor was also on vacation, so
Amazing.
it was good timing, I would say.
Okay. So to round things slowly up, I would just ask you like what would be, for example, your advice you would give like in maybe one sentence for now. I'm gonna ask you later again a question for just like how to manage your life, if balance it out, or like how being yourself or get back to yourself after like a stressful week. For example, now we have exam season and people are already burnt out and it hasn't even started yet properly. Like advice from your side.
Hmm. Oh, that's a good question. I would say it's remembering the small things, taking these small moments for yourself, because that's what's most important in the end. Mostly, in my opinion, a whole day not doing anything or a whole week not doing anything can actually be super counterintuitive and counterproductive. Um, yeah, counterproductive is the right word, because it's too much in that moment. It's rather about teaching your nervous system to deal with these sort of situations by giving it small moments throughout the day, having this 30-minute walk in nature without being available on your phone, without thinking the whole time about I have to do this and this and this. And like some sort of meditating, I feel like it's
Very
so
important.
helpful. Yeah, these are like the things also during these stressful situations. And for some people it helps, for some people it doesn't, I feel like, is remembering what would be the worst thing that could happen, especially in exam season. And I also remembered this myself for the Innovation Week. What would be the worst thing that could happen? Like, if it doesn't work out in the end, would it be the end of the world? No, probably not. We might experience it. It's okay. We're students. That's what we're here for. Exam season. Like, remember that it's not the end of the world and that it will end at some point. Which I always have to say then, it's like, don't play down if you're feeling unwell or whatever. Like, this toxic positivity, I feel like, can be a huge problem. But it is nice to remember that bad things will end probably at some point, especially if you're in such a privileged situation as we are mostly.
That's true. That's true. Okay, so just to round up things a little bit more, I have a quick fire round. So I'm just gonna ask you two options and you have to choose one, but like be as fast as possible. So, digital tools or pen and paper planner?
Oh my god, that's so hard. I can, I'm such a chatter. Pen and paper.
Okay, early morning or late night prep sessions?
Late night.
Okay, one underrated event skill.
Bro, one underrated event skill. Being relaxed.
A dream start event which you want to run?
Oh,
or did you already achieve it?
Probably I achieved it, honestly, with the Start Innovation Week. But I would love to start a female founders breakfast series.
Oh, that's cool. Okay, so one one word that describes the feeling of leading.
That's, I don't know what that says about me, but the first word that comes to my mind is actually power.
Yeah, it is. It is. Okay, well, amazing. Thank you very much, Jenny, for sharing your journey in START, and also besides that, and also how you manage life, or in general, how we can manage life. Maybe you have a last message to our STARTies, and then we can end our podcast of the day.
Ooh, okay, one last message. Be open to learn, take opportunities, and actually use START as a place to learn about yourself, develop new skills, foster connections, and please enjoy yourselves. Just enjoy life.
Amazing. Thank you very much for being here today.
Thank you for having me.